very excited to be here with all of you today and talk about some of the things that we've been doing so far. And I know most of this room is developers and creators. But like me, and you're all gamers too, right? And why do we play? We play because it is fun and entertaining, but it goes deeper than that. We play because we like beating that boss finally, or mastering that one sharp turn and beating your friends. We like to have connections with our friends and family that helps us kind of play better. In general, we are all healthier and happier when we game. We are generally, our industry is going through a lot of changes, but I think one thing we can all agree on, we all love to play. And that's why at Xbox as well, like you, we believe in the power of playing. So you might have seen this. It's all over Moscone as well. But really, the way I think about it, we're evolving Xbox to be available to anyone and anywhere, no matter where you are. For a long time, the box was at the center of Xbox. But with this transition, really what you're saying is you are at the center of the experience. Or in my case, me. So maybe my t-shirt should say, this is an Xbox, because Xbox is all about me. Xbox is really personal. And this requires us to build something new. We're building an intelligent platform that makes it easy for you to play with Xbox anywhere you are or no matter how you like to play. If you like to play on the console, of course you can. But if you want to play Xbox on a PC or a mobile or through cloud, you have the freedom to play whatever way you like to. And clearly there's a reason that we've been going that way. Let's talk about that. In general, as you look at gamers right now and players right now, 30% of gamers are multi-device. They like to play on different devices. And what's interesting is 30% of gamers are multi-device, but they are responsible for 60% of the spending that you have on games. So it really, they punch above their weight. And it's not only that. As you start looking at Gen Alpha, Gen Z, the number goes to up to 55% of them play multi-device. So that's how they consume. This is, of course, not a surprise. As people are used to seeing their entertainment and their content move with them no matter where they are. We live in a world of Netflix, Spotify's. People are used to the fact that content goes everywhere with them. It's also not a surprise that a gamer is not just a gamer in isolation. A gamer is a consumer, and they are exposed to a lot of what we think consumer products out there. And that have changed how they expect to be able to experience entertainment. They expect experiences will be more personalized to them, so they will be able to show them what they need and understand them. They will be contextual, so that means that it's less frustrating to do the things that you need to do. And then really, as you think of some of the AI-based experiences going out there, the chat GPTs and perplexities of the world, really the human natural language makes it so that they can experience things in a much more intuitive way. And so really, you start seeing that happening around us to gamers as well. Now, game development is complex and hard, and we are all aware of it. Development costs are high, but that's not even the only thing. In a world with so many games, it's hard for you as a creator to get your game to be seen by others, but it's just as hard for players to be able to find the games that they need in the right place, in the right context, what they're starting to feel for. Similarly, even when you have players, it's really hard to kind of sustain that engagement. Another interesting thing is, in a world of TikToks and Instagram, the attention span for people to be entertained and have fun is getting smaller. So you think about that as well. Even with gaming, people expect to be able to move things faster. And so that's another thing that comes into play even when you have players. How do you keep them engaged? How do you keep them excited and challenged at the same time? This is where we think AI can help. And AI can help in really two ways. AI can help enrich the experiences for players so that players can experience gaming in a whole different way. At the same time, AI can help creators and help with productivity, creativity, and really help kind of address both sides of the equation. And this is where we see our role as Xbox. We feel that Xbox can help accelerate both of these things, both as an innovator and as an enabler. By innovator, what I mean is that as Xbox, we can be at the forefront of where technology is. We can take tech innovation and translate it into real product impact. We can build experiences and try experimenting so you all don't have to. Really, in some ways, we're ahead of the curve to help figure out what needs to be done. Similarly, we are also enablers, which means as we go out and we figure out how AI can be applicable to our amazing industry, we can build platforms, we can help support and do things so that as all of you start on your AI journey, we have the building blocks that we need for that. And really, but even across all of that, I think the thing that I think about and we think about at Xbox is really in all of this world, we have a responsibility. So even while we are on this journey with AI, we really, really have to make sure that we're looking at it in a responsible manner. And what do I mean when I say that we have a strong commitment to responsibility? I think of that like that can manifest itself in many ways. There is the responsibility to players. We want to make sure that as AI shows up in player experiences, those experiences add value and make the power of gaming more experience, but keep games at the front and center of it, right? So that's very, very important. It needs to make sure that people are having more fun, versus kind of being in the front. Similarly, I look at creators. We want you and the developers to always be in control of the games that you're building, right? So even as we think of value that we can add for players and things like that, we have to always make sure that the creator is always in control of the game, and as part of even leveraging AI, they can decide how this shows up for that side, right? I think that is very important. And then, of course, what we consider at Microsoft are responsible AI principles. We need to make sure that the AI that we build is inclusive, that we account for privacy and make sure that that is never undermined. We make sure that we're accountable and transparent, right? So everything that we're doing, we're responsible for that. So really, that's kind of how I think about building responsibly and looking at this really early. And then the other thing that I would layer on top of it is, as we think of that, I think it is also a responsibility to make sure that we get things out to you sooner, which means that we will experiment, we will put things out there that aren't fully baked. And to be honest, like, it makes plenty of people within Xbox uncomfortable, because we know you have a high expectation for our brand and what needs to be done. But I think it's really, really important to think about building this together. So really, we all think there is a future with AI that is additive to gaming and can add value both for players and creators, but we don't know the answers. Like, I don't want to sit here and brag and say, I know exactly what things will be or how they will be, that they meet our responsible criteria. But like, what I want to do is I want to partner with you, because I do think and I do see the potential of this. And so that's really another one that you will see. The promise that you will see is we will put things out there sooner. We will experiment with you. We will take your feedback. We will learn, both as we build player-facing experiences and also we build the platform in which all of you can be part of. So to that effect, really, as we think of what we're doing, we're looking at three things. We're looking at player-facing experiences that we can build that will add value for our players out of the box. We very much look at creator tooling and what that means to give control to creators to be able to leverage AI. And then we think of very much as what is our responsibility to build that Xbox platform that helps our community and helps the ecosystem be able to leverage this and really do amazing things. Let's start with players. So while gaming continues to be the preferred mode of entertainment for a large portion of people, being a gamer is not always smooth sailing. For a new gamer like me, and I'm relatively new, but I'm not alone, there's millions of us, gaming can be daunting, which basically means that a lot of new gamers don't get to experience all the best games that we have in the industry because they're unsure of themselves. But that is not just the same for just new players. old, like people who have played lots of games, who are very well seasoned, can also get stuck and would need help a little bit. As a new person in the gaming industry, what I found very interesting is that gaming is the only form of entertainment where you can get stuck. And so really, how much fun and entertainment you have depends on your ability to be able to move past those. Have you ever seen and experienced really the challenges that come with gaming when you're trying to pick that really right character to build out your game? Or when you come back to a game after a month and you don't actually remember where you were at? Or like, I don't know about you, but remembering all the ingredients I need to build some legendary weapon. We've all been there. But really, gaming, the way I think about it is gaming is the best kind of frustrating, but not all frustration is good frustration. Now imagine a world, and this is where we think about it, where Xbox really knows you as a player. It really understands your preferences, your styles, your unique gaming personality, and really thinking of helping people get over that threshold of feeling successful, which actually is different for different people. Which really means is that it needs to be a personalized experience. As a seasoned player, you want your experiencing to be engaging, but also challenging. And really, if I think about it, all of these are places where AI can help. AI can make games more approachable for a much bigger audience of people, and really make it easy for people to get into gaming and get to start playing games and having fun. But at the same time, gaming can be very personal to what you like, what I like, how we want to be able to experience things. And then really, I think the other thing that is very important as we think of AI is not about now being able to play in isolation. AI is about how do most of us play, not just alone. I play with my 2 daughters, but everybody plays, whether with folks at home or with our community. And so really, AI has to be part of helping us have a more social experience as we're playing, right? So I really think of all of those as ways in which AI can show up and help us. Let me show you what I mean.
Gaming Copilot gets you to the fun faster. Play your way from start to finish. Support when you need it, out of the way when you don't.
I want to get back into Age of Empires 4. Can you install it?
Downloading now. Want a recap of where you left off?
Sure.
Last time you were defending Tyre in the Sultan's Ascend campaign and ventured out to take the fight to the Franks, but let's just say it didn't go as planned. Your base was destroyed by the Beast after a failed head-on battle with your Turkic horse archers.
Let's go ahead and pretend that was part of the strategy.
When things slow down, it steps in to help, so you can stay focused on the adventure.
Oh, what's the best way to take out the Beast?
Want me to pull up a quick strategy guide?
Sure.
Do you want me to tell you more about leveraging terrain?
No, that's okay, but can you tell me about the real Frankish siege of Tyre?
Of course.
City by city, we succumb.
Gaming Copilot also keeps you connected, so you can jump into a game with friends anytime.
Well played. Your friends are online. Want to hop into Sea of Thieves on cloud gaming?
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Play your way with Gaming Copilot. Ready to play? Gaming Copilot.
What you just saw was a glimpse of Copilot for gaming. We're building Copilot to be the ultimate gaming sidekick, one that helps you get to play faster, helps you sharpen your skills with expert coaching, and helps you in general enjoy a more social experience. There was a lot in that video, so let me take a moment to break down how we think about Copilot. We think of Copilot as playing 3 distinct roles. First, it's meant to be your assistant. And as your assistant, it has one objective, which is to get you into the game. With personalized recommendations and recaps, Copilot will help you jump back into an old favorite or discover something new. It'll also help download and install games so you can jump in as soon as you're ready. It'll also make it easier to connect with friends. It can be a pain sometimes to figure out exactly what and when to play with your friends. Wouldn't it be awesome if someone just did that for you? Copilot can help. Next, As your personalized sidekick, it's here to support you in the ways that you want, whether you play alone or with your community. Copilot will be tailored to your preferences, your gameplay, your activity, so it interacts with you in the way that you want. And the more that you engage with it, the better it learns what you enjoy and how you like to play. Ultimately being there to support you either by hanging out with you or giving you support in the game in the ways that you want. And finally, Copilot is there to be your coach. It's going to help you get through the tough times in a game. Whether that's pointing you to the exact place in a strategy guide, giving you a download on the history of an epic battle, or just helping you figure out what to do next. It'll answer your questions about game lore and progression, and over time will give you personalized tips and coaching that are optimized for you. As we look at bringing these experiences to life, I wanted to talk a little bit about the design principles that anchor how we're building the product. First, we're building Copilot to be available wherever you play, seamlessly accessible across all of the endpoints and devices where you play with Xbox. It'll also adapt to you as you engage with it over time. It'll learn more about what you like to play, how you enjoy playing, who you enjoy playing with, and over time become much more personalized and tailored to you. And finally, you're in control. It's your gaming experience after all. You decide how and when to interact with Copilot and what it can do on your behalf. We're also building Copilot to be a non-intrusive experience that doesn't take away from your core gameplay. And so you have the option to have it available when you want it and out of the way when you don't. I'm especially excited about the work that we're doing to make Copilot your ultimate coach. And there's a lot that goes into making that happen. We're building Copilot to provide the most expansive, personalized, and precise assistance. And as you all probably know, it's a complex problem to give players the right assistance that is helpful as well as relevant for the moment where they are at in a game, which is why we're taking a multifaceted approach to building the best game assistance. We start out with game knowledge. An understanding of game lore, mechanics, and progression allows us to give players the most relevant and useful assistance. Next, we layer on an understanding of the player. And at Xbox, we've been serving players for over 20 years, so we understand them well. We're able to take what we know about players and their preferences and tailor assistance and responses to them, not only in the ways that they enjoy, but also meeting them at the experiences where they're playing. And finally, we have game state understanding. This is an understanding of where you are at in the game and what you're doing. By unlocking these insights, we're able to give the most precise assistance possible. All of these pieces together allow us to bring to life not only personalized, but also highly relevant assistance. But we're not stopping there. We're delivering this assistance in the context of your gameplay through really contextual experiences. What this means is you never actually have to leave your game to get help. You don't have to launch a different app. You don't have to go search for information. It's available to you in the context of your gaming experience. And we think that is going to truly change how people play. We also believe that personalized experiences such as this are the future. They're not only what our players expect of us, but they're also what drive deep engagement with games. For new players, reducing the time to fun invites them to play and to stay longer. For existing players, personalized experiences drive deeper engagement. And since gaming is an inherently social activity, these dynamics build on each other and create network effects, all leading to amplified gameplay. So what does all of this mean for you all, for game developers? First, all of these platform experiences will start to light up for your games with no additional work. You should see them get better over time as we add more capabilities and as users and players actually interact with them. But again, we're not stopping there. We know that ultimately the most meaningful and integrated experiences will require deeper integration with Copilot. And so we're building it to be an extensible platform, giving you all ways in which you can further customize and adapt Copilot for your games. We'll look in just a minute at what this deeper integration can unlock. But as we build out the platform, we're constantly looking for ways in which you can bring Copilot closer to your games. And if you think about it, this is not a novel concept. You all already share real-time context such as achievements as well as real-time presence with us. And you've seen how we can unlock new experiences using those types of signals. We believe there's a lot more we can do, to build innovative as well as personalized experiences. And so we look for ways for you to share more signals with us as we enrich these experiences on the Xbox platform. But as always, you remain in control. You decide what and when to share with us. So let's take a closer look at deeper integration and what that allows. We explored a few ideas with games from our first-party studios to explore what it would look like if Copilot had a much deeper understanding of a particular game. These explorations also help us understand what we as a platform should build in terms of extensibility models that allow you to bring Copilot closer to the nuances of your game. Let's first take a look at one of Blizzard's iconic universes, Overwatch. Here we looked at assistance opportunities pre-match, making recommendations on hero selection based on player history, team composition, and maps. We also looked at opportunities for post-match coaching, where we could advise you based on what went wrong and what you could do differently next time. While these are mostly concepts and not planned features for Overwatch, they help illustrate what is possible with experiences like Copilot as you bring them closer to your game. Let's take a quick look.
Gaming Copilot prepares you for the competition.
Oh no, Echo is taken already. What should I play now?
Echo's taken, but Cassidy would be a solid pick with this team. His mid-range hit scan and Mercy's damage boost will work great on Ilio's ruins. Plus, you've done great with him on this map before.
Gaming Copilot helps you during the downtime.
How did I die so fast?
You stayed in the fight too long after your teammates were down. Great picks with your ultimate, but diving straight into Ramatra was a death sentence. Next time, retreat to regroup with your team.
Gaming Copilot is there when you have questions.
Whoa, what just happened?
Sombra hacked you, disabling your abilities, then melted you with her machine pistol. To counter her, stay near Kiriko for a quick Suzu cleanse or move unpredictably to make hacking harder.
That Sombra is annoying me a lot. I think it's time to switch heroes.
Good call. Soldier 76 could work well here, since you can pressure Sombra at range and self-heal to survive her engages. Stay with your team and keep an eye on flanks.
We're also looking at what it looks like to bring Copilot to sandbox games like Minecraft. Here, we built a prototype that allows us to explore what Copilot could do if it had a deeper understanding of what you were up to in the game. As you'll see in just a minute, Copilot manifests seamlessly with a game as open-ended as Minecraft. You'll see it hanging out with the player and helping them navigate new challenges and environments. Like Overwatch, this isn't a feature that's coming to Minecraft anytime soon, but it's a great example of what is possible.
Okay, this is my first time playing Minecraft. What should I do first?
Start by punching a tree to collect wood.
Is that a cow?
Yes, there is a cow in front of you.
Okay, I've got some tree wood. What do I do with that?
Craft the oak logs into wooden planks by opening your inventory and placing the logs in the crafting area.
Okay, I've got some planks.
Now, craft a crafting table by placing 4 wooden planks in a 2x2 square in the crafting area. Next, craft a wooden pickaxe by placing 3 wooden planks across the top row and 2 sticks in the middle column.
Is the sun going down? I heard that at nighttime things get scary. Is the sun going down?
Yes, it's currently dusk. it would be a good idea to find or make a shelter.
Oh wait, where's my crafting table?
Your crafting table is not in your inventory. You may need to craft a new one or find it at the previous location.
Can you tell me how to get to the previous location?
I can't provide directions, but you can try retracing your steps to where you placed the crafting table earlier.
Why can't you provide directions?
I can't provide directions because cheats are not enabled in your settings.
Okay, now I've got cheats enabled. Where do I find ores?
You last saw coal ore right next to you, but a few blocks lower.
I guess they burn in the daylight.
There is currently a thunderstorm, so watch out for lightning strikes and increased hostile mob spawns.
Great.
Your health is low. Find a safe spot and heal.
We're excited for you all to try Copilot, so keep an eye out for it in Xbox Insiders. It's coming soon. We really want to get this right. And so as Fatima mentioned earlier, we're going to make these experiences available to you early and often. We're looking for your feedback. With Copilot for gaming in particular, we're starting out by making it available on the Xbox mobile app. So you have a dual device experience where Copilot doesn't take away from your core gameplay, but can augment it. Another reason mobile is a great test bed for us is that it provides us the broadest reach. We know almost everyone has access to a phone, and so this allows us to hear more broadly from the community. So please stay tuned and definitely reach out with feedback. Let's shift gears a little bit. We looked quite a lot at what AI could do to enrich gaming experiences for players. We also believe AI can play a huge role in empowering creators to scale their impact. We see 3 distinct ways in which AI can unlock growth opportunities for creators: increasing discovery, deepening engagement, and accelerating velocity. Let's start with engagement. We know that successful players are happy and engaged players, and anything that we can do to prevent players from feeling frustrated and churning out of the game is goodness for both the players as well as the games. We saw a little bit how AI experiences like Copilot can help you when you're stuck in a game and help keep you engaged and prevent you from churning out. Let's look at discovery next. Perhaps one of the greatest challenges of our times is sorting through the thousands of titles to find the one you love. In a world where AI understands you as a player, your preferences, and your activity, not only can it give you great tips when you're in your current game, it can help you find potentially the next game that you'd enjoy really well. AI is a powerful tool to help us innovate on discovery experiences. And the third area, the one we'll talk about next, is how AI can empower game teams to maximize their productivity and effectiveness. We know a lot goes into making great games and even more into getting them to players that love playing them. And we believe AI has the opportunity to both accelerate and assist across all phases of game development. As we think about what it takes to build and publish a game, you could imagine assistance that helps you onboard your games so you can focus on building the best game possible. Or you could imagine using AI to run testing and validation at scale in a way that helps you get results sooner, but also ensures the highest quality experience for your games. Or you could imagine a world where AI can proactively identify code and performance defects and make recommendations on optimizations you can make. On the operate side, we know many games treat data as their lifeline, empowering them to run effective live ops and iterate in concert with their players. But this level of this level of data and fidelity of data isn't always accessible. And for smaller game teams that don't have dedicated data science, it takes a lot more to get to the insights compared to larger creators. This is where AI can help. AI can help streamline game operations and help you get to faster insights, as well as translate those insights into actions. So how do we bring all of this to life? First, Microsoft has a broad portfolio of developer tools. And as Microsoft, we're convicted in the power of AI to unlock greater developer productivity. And so you'll see us continue to bring more AI to the tools that you use today. In fact, just this week at GDC, you'll hear more about what we're doing to use AI to help you optimize your inner loop using Visual Studio and GitHub Copilot. But we're not stopping there. We're also building AI-powered tools that are optimized for Xbox. Tools that make it easier for you to build, publish, and operate your games on Xbox. Let's start with game development. We're looking to use AI to help make it easier for you to build and release on our platform. We're looking at a few different areas, from using AI to help you port your games to Xbox, which includes identifying the changes you need to make and assisting you with making those changes, but also bringing chat-based experiences that help you navigate and find the most relevant resources and code samples for Xbox. We're also looking at personalizing support so you can get to the answers you want quick, whether that's logging a bug, getting help with an issue, or just getting assistance in general. And we're designing these experiences to be contextual, so they're available in the tools you use today versus requiring you to go learn and use a new tool. So keep an eye out for some of these experiences. We're also using AI to optimize engagement and monetization on our marketplace. We're using AI to reason over vast amount of information to unlock the insights that matter to you. You'll also be able to use natural language to reason over data on our platform, whether that's understanding wish list conversions, regional performance trends, or just being able to dive deep into click-through rates for different promos and offers. We'll augment these insights with recommendations, giving you recommendations on updates or changes you should make to the marketplace to further optimize performance for your game. And lastly, we'll make it easy for you to take action on those recommendations. Again, being able to give you tools that use natural language to do things like update your store listings or create new promos or offers. Our goal is to use AI to unlock new insights that help you make better data-driven decisions and reduce the time from insight to action. We really want to democratize availability to these insights and data with the power of AI. You'll start to see some of these capabilities show up in select Xbox stores starting this summer, so stay tuned. And I think with that, we're almost at a close. We spent quite a bit of time talking about what we're doing to use AI for player experiences, as well as how we're using it to create new tools and new ways to help drive efficiency for creators. We're excited to have you join us on this journey. And our first step is going to be Copilot for Gaming. So keep an eye out for it in Xbox Insiders and definitely send us feedback. If you're interested in exploring ways to integrate Copilot more deeply for your titles, please reach out to us. I think we should have an interest form live on the Xbox AI Resource Hub very soon. So please reach out and we'd be happy to connect with you much more. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the week.
We have time, so we could take one or two questions if people have them. But
hello. Riot and NetEase have both banned player selection tools because they think it grants players an unfair advantage.
Sorry,
Riot and NetEase have both banned player selection tools because they feel it gives players an unfair advantage. How does Blizzard feel about Copilot using a player selection tool?
I think that's where we go back to at the end of the day, the exploration is based on what the game creator thinks. If they think that that is going to give them an unfair advantage, absolutely not, right? That's where I look at everything that we're building, and that was even doing that was part of our exploration to show that at the end of the day, you know your game better and you know your game best, and you will decide if in your game, if you are able to choose a team, will it give you an unfair advantage or not? So that's really, at the end of the day, the way I look at it is we are giving base ability to do it, but at the end of the day, the game creator, because to your point, a game creator decides what is their game, how it looks like. So that's kind of how I think about it. If it makes sense that it shouldn't be, it won't be. In cases it does, maybe they will, right?
So the player could choose. What about the people the player is playing against?
I don't think player, I think creator, right? So I think there's both things in that. I think the creator can decide to turn it off.
Who can turn it off?
The creator, like the game creator. The game creator can decide these kinds of experiences are okay for my game, these kind of experiences are not, right? So first you have to decide, because the game creator or game developer is the one who is building the game. And then based on that, they can decide what they want to do. And then within it, players. And I think the way I kind of think of it, at the end of the day, I'm not building the game. You are, right? So you understand your game better. If you feel that you are okay with this, something like a particular experience being enabled in your game as a game creator or a game developer, that's the first answer that I look at. If you are okay with it, and then I think, to your point, transparency is very important. If it is something like that, they would enable it. Like, that is not for me. It would be very arrogant of me to sit here and say it's like that. I am not. Like, what I want to do is I want to give people the tools to build the right experience, right?
Last question, I promise. So, but if it's Blizzard, a Microsoft studio, has Blizzard seen the Overwatch player creation tool yet?
Have they seen this? Of course, we did this with them. So very much the way I look at it is, the advantage that I have at an Xbox is that we have a lot of sister teams, right? They're all doing it. So anytime that we have some ideas of here's the kinds of things that can happen, we usually go to studios and ask for people who want to explore this with us. Because again, I don't think I know the right answer, but what I want to do is I want to work with enough developers to be able to understand what they think makes sense for them. So absolutely, they have seen this and they helped provide us guidance. I would not want to represent it, but again, this is an exploration. This is not what they're actually doing. And that's the part that I'd want you to understand. It's like we are trying to figure out the different things. This is not to say in one particular thing it'll show up that way.
Thank you.
Hello. I have a question regarding the assistant.
Yeah.
The assistant is telling the player what he should do or she should do. Can you, in a reaction, ask the assistant that the assistant will present what to do? I mean, we'll go with the actions for you. We'll do it.
I guess I should answer it in two ways. We are not at this point doing actions for it, but so from the standpoint of what we're trying to build right now, this is really helping assistant, and the player is at the end of the day what they do. However, I think you could imagine a world in the future with AI where you have like an AI agent playing or things like that, right? Absolutely could be happen. Honestly, the way I look at it, that is less interesting maybe on the player case. It's more interesting on the developer case. If you're a developer, you want somebody to play a game as a QA thing, right? How
exactly.
Would you, right? So yes, so exactly. I absolutely think that there is technology like that and it can be applicable. So it's very possible, but I think the question, again, going back to the previous gentleman's question, the question is, at what point do you want to bring it in a player-facing experience? And that's the part that we have to work with all of you to do, right? So,
yes, I'm looking from the QA perspective that you are instructing the agent to do the playing and then find potential functional errors.
Exactly.
Yeah?
So, and I've seen that in a lot of studios, both inside and across the industry as well. I've heard a lot of people are trying to do this, and I think it makes sense.
You have it on the roadmap? You are going to deliver such functionalities in the future, near future?
We've done some work, but not right now. That's not something we can talk about right now. So.
Okay, and the last question, this is only for Xbox ecosystem, or you are going to open this Copilot for games for individual game developers?
Honestly, again, what I would tell you is, we have people who think about it in all sides of the things. Again, like I am not sure I know exactly what needs to be done. I think for me, the most important thing is I need to build an experience that players find valuable. that creators find is additive to their business. Like that's my fundamental thing. If I get to a point where players are choosing it and creators are opting in because they think it's important, that's the goal. And after that, we can see. Like that's really depends on that. I am not going that far because I don't think I should make that call. Like my responsibility is to build that experience first, right?
Thank you very much.
Hi, I've missed the first half of the session, but I just want to know, does it support other languages or just English?
Right now, the first experience that we're putting out is going to be English only. But this is not to say that long term these could not be in other languages. But right now, it's going to be English only.
So is it planned, for example, is it planned for 2 years, next years, or it's
Who
not?
knows in 2 years what happens?
It does.
I can't predict what will happen next month these days. So.
Hi. I felt AI Copilot was really fascinating, but I got a little bit curious about. However, wouldn't it make player overly rely on the AI or hinder the emergence of creative solution? For example, in puzzle game, player might just be given one to get the answer from Copilot, or multiplayer, they might only receive the recommendation for the most efficient meta. How does the Copilot address these issues, or does it help player to play more creativity?
I think this is not a new construct in gaming, right? Plenty of games say, do you want the easy mode or the hard mode, right? So we already have that construct in gaming about somebody wants it to be easy. I want it to be easy because I can barely do anything. But like I think that's really going to be ultimately how we do it. Yes, like somebody might say the way I experience, and I think this is what I say, going back to how we think the future of gaming, and as we think of more gamers coming in, there will be people who are like, this is what I want the really hard game and I'm going to do it. And there will be other people who will say, I'm a casual gamer, like really, right? And you think about it, this is not about saying that you're making the game easy. This is about you are now opening a whole set of games for that casual gamer that would have previously been too hard, right? So really, you can look at things in both ways, but the way I look at it is you are opening the funnel.
So it allows more like spectrum.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry, I think maybe we take one more.
Hello. Copilot looks very interesting. With Copilot and the other services shown, there's clearly an expansive array of features that Xbox plans to implement here. What sort of timeline does Xbox have in mind for launching specific features? So I know you're starting with Copilot on the mobile app. In the video shown, it links very specifically to literally what's happening in the game. I guess with the Copilot on the mobile app, what sort of features can we expect to see in these first few iterations of Copilot?
I think like what we showed you is what my goal was to paint a vision, because what I need, like I feel at the end of the day, you want people to show what is the art of, like really my job is to show you what is possible, because as part of showing you what is possible, we can have that two-way dialogue where we decide this, to your point, a lot of people have said, this won't make sense for a game. This would be very interesting. Here's how I look at it. So very much when I look at it, there's a bunch of stuff that we have on our roadmap, but honestly, I wouldn't be able to tell you if I knew anyway. But even if we had it, honestly, I want to give myself the flexibility to say this is resonating more with players. So let's double down on this versus something else that would take longer. So I would absolutely look at it that way, right? So what I would say is this is our first instance. The first instance is just get something out there, get it started, and then we will build based on it. So like the best thing that you all could do is help kind of give us that feedback on what makes sense both as creators and as players.
Awesome. And then is Xbox planning to develop all these features in-house, or are there any partnership plans with organizations like OpenAI, 11 Labs, or others?
So as part of Microsoft, we will use whatever is like in our toolbox at Microsoft. So like that's kind of how I would answer it, right? If we have the models, we will try it. The way I look at it is, I am at Microsoft, it gives me advantage that I have access to a lot of information that I can use. But at the end of the day, I am in the business of making engaging experiences that add value to gamers, right? That's kind of my fundamental thing, which means that I will do whatever makes sense to me.
Thank you.
Sorry. Okay, you have two more people standing. So if these are short questions, I'll do it. But then...
Hello. So I just want to quickly check. So I know that it seems like the Copilot is like an online feature and stuff like that. Will it affect like the network issue or something like that when you're playing online games or something like that? Like, will it cause any kind of like sort of issue with coaching or something like that? Do you ever like consider like that?
We've considered a whole bunch of stuff, but what I'll tell you is it really depends on you. If people come to us and say, no, this really needs to have some way of doing something offline, we'll look at that. Like, I just want to make sure there's lots of places where we explored. Yes, there is where you could say that you need something offline or you need something running local. If you look at Windows, for example, we have 5 models running locally, a bunch of these. So there is tech available across the board. So I don't think the challenge is tech. The thing that we have to do is, are we building the experience that people want and what makes sense, right? So that is my guiding goal in all of this.
Okay, and is there like the Copilot? Is it going to be like you say, is like going to be free for all, or is it going to be there's like a paid model, like accessing this Copilot or something like that?
Honestly, I don't know. I cannot tell you that as well. Like, if once we have more context, I'm happy to share it. But at the end of the day, like, I think when I think of all AI, because this one I can't tell you, but in general, when I think of AI, like all of the AI stuff that is going out there, at the end of the day, you have to create value. And this is not just, I mean, value for like me. The value is for all of you as well, right? So when you think of doing anything, it should be additive, right? It should grow the pie. And that's kind of how I look at it. That's kind of maybe my basic principle that I would say. I don't know exactly how it will be. First, I have to build an experience that people love and people choose, right? That's kind of going to be fundamental.
Okay, and last question. Let's say if this is released, will players let's say they don't want the Copilot, are they able to freely toggle it on or off?
Absolutely. Players are in control.
Okay.
Sorry.
Hello. Yeah, I have a couple of questions. Just 2 questions, quick questions.
Everybody has a couple of questions.
We saw a bit of the coaching aspects of the Copilot app with Xbox and its games. So what are your takes, or what can we expect in terms of something like esports with this technology?
We have not explored that right now. I know other people are exploring it as well in the industry. So but we have not explored right now. So I don't know if I have a point of view that I can share with you.
Right. And last question. We've seen Copilot being used with first party or at the very least like inside the Xbox/Microsoft environment. What about adjacent technologies, such as, for example, the Unity engine, right, that has like support for Microsoft as well?
I think when I think of Unity and others, I go back to the platform, right? I am building some experiences, but really my goal with building experiences is to build a platform that all of you can build experiences. And I cannot build components for AI if we don't think of kind of working with all of the frameworks in the middle, right? So right. I think whenever we go there, it would have to be a partnership. I just don't know that right now, so I wouldn't be able to say anything.
Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.